So we know what CM Punk did. He had that big scrum where he was mean to my Adam Page, empty-headed Adam Page. Is CM Punk celebrating the broken neck tonight?
Oh, he has to be, right? He doesn't like Adam Page. He never has. The disrespect on TV I thought was really low class. So I bet CM Punk will post something just to save a little face. Like we'll get a Snapchat from him saying like, "Don't never like to see anyone get hurt."
He just
Fuck
posts
him.
the Ryan Cabrera Alexa Bliss "Worth It" music video. It was worth it. All right, here's RVD talking about Punk. This is going back to 2005 or 6. WWECW 2006, I believe.
When WWE ECW was around, as everyone knows, shortly after we started.
By the way, doesn't this guy have like CTE? Didn't he have a documentary called Headstrong coming out? You can see it, and when he tries to talk and look around, he has X-Pac eyes without doing meth once. He has meth eyes without the meth. So what happened to Headstrong? Is that still coming out?
What worries me is how much of an advocate he is for marijuana, because it's like marijuana has no side effects, man. And then you kind of listen to him talk now, and you're like, Rob, is this all wrestling? Because Mick Foley doesn't talk like this, and he fell off the cell. Like, there's all these other wrestlers that have had this traumatic brain injuries and shit. Like, Mick Foley got smashed by The Rock a bunch of times, and he doesn't wander around the room looking like, what was I just talking about? Like, and when he was, so I remember RVD on Stone Cold's podcast, and hearing him talk, I even thought, like, is RVD like wasted? What's happening? Maybe there is something linked. Look, marijuana is awesome. I'm just saying, maybe Rob's a great example of why we should limit our use.
You're so right. I'm so glad I quit when I look at him. When X-Pac has big eyes, maybe those aren't meth eyes, they're weed eyes. Now, this might be marijuana problems. Now when RVD asks you to pick a hand, he takes his socks off and puts his feet up in the air. He's a fucking retard, this guy. So look at him trying to talk here.
You know, I haven't been around him a whole lot. When WWE ECW was around, as everyone knows, shortly after we started, I got suspended for 30 days.
Oh my God, I'm triggered. Don't bring this up on the night we lost Adam Page. Finally, we had a cool champion for the first time in like 9 years. And God, we had John Cena for the next decade. We didn't know how bad it was going to get. We didn't know that because of a legal drug like weed, a medicine like weed, we were going to lose this guy for 30 days, and he'd be punished for the rest of his career. I'm triggered. Look at this.
I'm gone.
Bad time to unpause it. Had a little weed fit there. We should have let Vleeties take over.
And there was some new guys coming in besides CM Punk, Bobby Lashley, Vampire Dude.
Vampire Dude. He doesn't know why that's funny. Look. What? I just forgot his name. I don't know. I'm a retard. What are you talking about? Look at him.
Yeah.
This poor guy.
A few guys.
Anyway, you can tell he didn't get the joke.
But anyway,
I'm gone for 30 days. When I came back, I'm at the first show back, and CM Punk approaches me at the building, and he says, "Hey, Rob, I just want to let you know, I'm going to have a team meeting in the dressing room."
I'm so glad you know why that's funny. I feel like that would go over so many heads. I laughed so fucking hard when I heard this part of the story. CM Punk just gets called up to WWECW. RVD's world champion a month ago. He's suspended, comes back. Right when he comes back, this new Phil Brooks. Hey, just so you know, Rob, I'm calling a team meeting. CM Punk in his first fucking week is calling a team meeting. What a piece of shit. Has there been a worse fucking guy to ever be in wrestling?
and this is shoulder length, like greasy black hair CM Punk too. Like this is the most mid-card, just getting my feet wet here at WWE version of CM Punk. And he goes up to Rob Van Dam, not just WWE champion, but like pioneer of wrestling, like ECW legend. We all loved RVD. Like no one's ever said anything. It works a little stiff. Well, yeah, the kicks look awesome. So maybe they're just kicks. But for CM Punk, hey, Rob, if you're not busy, I'm getting the boys together, a little team meeting, all right? Let's talk this one out.
This guy's ready to call Wrestler Court and be the judge in his first fucking day. CM Punk, you're right. Shoulder length, greasy hair CM Punk, the worst wrestler of all time. Look at this.
I'm at the first show back.
The first show back. It was the first show back. He doesn't even know the guy yet. He's like just meeting him.
And CM Punk approaches me at the building and he says, "Hey, Rob, I just want to let you know I'm going to have a team meeting in the dressing room." He says, "Of course, this has nothing to do with you. I just want to tell you so you know, like when everyone's back there and stuff." And I'm like, "What? Your locker room leader? Like, what happened?" But
and that part triggered me because when I interviewed RVD, I asked him about locker room leader accusations. Apparently, in Impact, that's where RVD let everyone down. And I think a lot of people, a lot of legends, quote unquote, let the locker room down in Impact. Like, did anyone go back there? Did anyone in the main event Mafia take that locker room seriously? Or were they just there suckling off it like it was a billionaire money mark like Tony Khan? They just wanted their Spike TV deal. They wanted their free money. Kevin Nash wouldn't even dye his hair. So Booker T, Mick Foley, Scott Steiner, they all were like, I used to be in real wrestling. Now I'm in this fucking soundstage. I'm in this fucking shithole that doesn't even tour. Fuck this locker room. It's not a locker room. It's a TV studio. But yeah, when I talked to RVD, I asked him about how he wasn't a locker room leader. Like, claims that he wasn't enough of a leader. And RVD's answer was like almost like, what's a leader? What is a locker room leader? Like, when things finish, they're just beginning. He went full Triple H about it. He showed me a QR code. And he said, I didn't know that the locker room leader was available to me or something. And it was like this whole playing dumb thing.
I would, take that position if it was one, that I felt was open for me to take.
What? Your locker room leader? Like, what happened? But some people are comfortable just taking that position of control and moving forward. And I don't know. I kind of think like he's one of them. Like, I don't think he's like real flexible in his code of ethics. I think he lives by like a real strict guideline where he's like, what? Is somebody offending me? Am I offended? Should I be offended right now? I feel like that's his energy.
That is some marijuana wisdom, Vleeties. He nailed CM Punk. CM Punk, the guy who used and abused a female trainee when all she wanted to do was help the boys and mother the boys, and they gangbanged her and made her drive them everywhere.
We tried to get blood from that stone, and we squeezed her for like everything she was worth, And
she'd always have like snacks for us too.
Yeah.
Well, and all the just him on Twitter, like every story, like what? Who's offending me? Like running and looking for the aggravation. Like a fan at a hockey game saying, "Hey, Phil." That upset him immediately. Why are you calling me that in public?
Yeah.
My name is CM Punk all the time now. Don't you understand?
Yeah, CM Punk to you. I'm not Phil to you. You don't know me. You can't call me Phil. And when he met The Rock at the hotel room to plan for their feud, big feud. We're on WrestleMania season. CM Punk's like, oh, I'm outnumbered. What the fuck? There's more people on his side than mine. Like, they're going to fight there. No, you're having a creative meeting. And he started a big fight there to the point he was texting apologies later that night.
I was like, hey, if I rubbed you the wrong way, I know we kind of had that little thing that first night. And he was just like, no, fuck it, water under the bridge. That's all. That's all it was.
He's always defensive, always ready to be offended. And now he ruined my elite. He took my BTE from me, and he's sitting at home in an arm brace.
I hope the arm brace never goes away. I hope that turns into his new his cowboy Bob Orton cast. Just always in the arm brace forever here on out. And I love that story from RVD because, I do think of ECW during that time. Like, wasn't Big Show there? Like, they had WWE legends on that ECW roster. So you have to imagine, short, black, greasy hair Punk. Even his little video promos where he's doing this thing with his wrist and he goes, my addiction is competition. It's like, okay. Like, let's see what this guy turns out to be. And he beats like Stevie Richards in his first match. Like, nope, I'm in charge of this locker room now. I had video packages coming in. It's going to be me and Rene Dupree. We run this shit.
Is there any doubt that it was Tess stealing from the bags?
I was even leaning like, who could it have been? Sabu? Like, who would be in those bad? Like, there were other ECW guys like a Danny Doring and a CW Anderson. Like, there was some low-level guys on this roster at that time. Balls Mahoney was there. I don't trust anyone from that original ECW. Paul Heyman fucked those guys.
Paul Heyman was stealing from the fucking bags. We know he's a con artist. We all believe that beyond the mat speech until we found out the real guy. We know him, Vleeties. He'd rather climb a tree and tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the truth. Jim Cornette knows.
He would rather climb a tree and tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the truth.
And that was the last time we listened to Brian last. When's the last time you put on that shitty fucking show? It turns out bashing Trump was Cornette at his peak, and that sucked.
That was the last time I listened. It was that one about the Senate where they did the vote, and it's like, in this country, half the votes don't even fucking matter. We have a constitution that says you're going to have 2/3 of the fucking vote.
Yeah.
And that was the first 20 minutes. And then after that 20 minutes, he goes, well, fuck, I guess we'll talk about wrestling. That's why you fuckers are listening. And I just thought, you know what? Fuck you. I don't even know why I listened to you. You were like the 9th guy in the room to make a suggestion at that time. So, yes, Chainsaw Charlie came out of a box and he's fucking over. Thank you.
Look in his eyes, what do you see? Booker staring back at me. I know you're angry about the feed. He's the only guy we want to see. Just don't poke a Scampoli. Just don't poke a Scampoli. Just don't poke a Scampoli.